Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Entrepreneur Middle East. We're here today at a very interesting location. As you can see, we're in a lab, and with me are two exceptionally cool people that have created XPANCEO. It's the two founders, Roman Axelrod. Thank you so much for welcoming me here today, as well as Dr. Valentyn Volkov. Thank you so much for bringing us over here, and I'm very excited to be speaking to you guys today. You're also the CTO, right, of the company, so you'll be giving me all the latest technological scoops.
I will try, yes,
Perfect.
to share some technological secrets.
Amazing. Well, I'm really excited to be having this conversation with you guys today because obviously when I heard about your company, it's not something that you see or you hear about on a daily basis. I mean, we just got used to the meta glasses as something new, and now you're telling me there's going to be a lens sooner or later that I'm going to be seeing through and having AI combined with. So I'm very excited to be hearing a little bit about your little product here that you're building. So to kick things off, obviously, I want to ask you, how did this idea come to be, and what are your backgrounds? You know, how did you meet, and how did you create this exceptional product together?
Well, it's quite a story, to be frank. So 5 years ago, I was in the middle of selling my previous company, and basically I thought, what do you want to do with your life? What do you want to do next?
That's a good question.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, you were 30 back then, you were a grown-up boy. What do you want to do? And so basically I understood that I want to contribute to building next generation of computing.
Mm-hmm.
Soon it became very clear that the next generation of computing is not a computer anymore. So basically, historically, we used devices, and the computing power was stored inside the device. Now, computer is an algorithm, be it ChatGPT or Gemini or Claude or you name it. It's a cognitive layer between us, humans, and digital world that seamlessly operates, at least it is going to operate in the very near future, all kinds of our being.
And seamlessly is the important word,
yes,
I think.
absolutely.
Here,
and
yeah.
the key metric is zero friction. Now we need to provide input, and computer provides output. We need a computing generation that will predict and proactively will provide us with basically anything you need,
rather than us constantly
So,
placing in information.
absolutely.
And yeah,
Basically, still we need a habitat for this algorithm. And let's not forget that this algorithm has to be able to both provide you with data and to measure your biological parameters in order to truly understand what's going on and what do you need right now. Glasses, definitely. Helmets, probably. We decided to concentrate on a very narrow, specific gadget, contact lenses. It soon became very clear to me that the whole concept is not about, developing. It's about shrinking down all components so they would fit in a contact lens, and the contact lens would feel, absolutely seamless and just like a normal contact lens. Basically, I just started Googling who's responsible for, how can I shrink down? How can I make electronics smaller? I understood that in order to do so, we need we need to develop new materials to basically skip whole concept of modern.
everything we know of, basically.
Yes,
yeah.
basically.
It's atomic, small layers, nano layers, right?
Exactly. And this is, this is how it happened. Basically, I started Googling. I found a cell phone of one of Valentyn's employees.
So you stalked Valentyn?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. That is literally what happened. And I started messaging and calling. What do you do with an insane guy? You send him to your boss. So that guy, he sent me to Valentyn, and I basically approached Valentyn and started persuading him. And at some point, it became clear to us that we need to start a company. Probably I shall remain silent from this part because, well, this is, how it happened.
Yeah, yeah.
This is how, this is the idea behind the company and how the company itself happened.
And what were your thoughts when this crazy guy texted you saying, let's create a lens together?
Well, yeah, I was kind of trained and experienced person at that moment.
What
Because,
were you doing at the time? Tell us.
yeah, I was kind of trying to keep a distance, to say the truth,
Okay.
because again, strange guys coming and start to. I mean, I had a very successful
You had your own
job and
life.
career in academia. I was director of the big research center for photonics and 2D materials. And
Okay.
I kind of was very much occupied with fundamental problems in modern optoelectronics. But this person, he was everywhere, and yeah, we were kind of meeting again and again. And at a certain moment, I said, "Okay, let's talk. First, let's talk about that."
Let's go for a drink. Yeah.
Yeah, and
This happened quite a few times.
Yes, a few
Yeah.
drinks down.
yeah.
It was needed, I would say.
So, and in this communication, actually, it kind of became more shaped in the end. At least for me, I start to use. I mean, I start to think how I can use my background actually to apply to this idea and actually to make the abstract idea the reality.
Right.
No.
Did you guys in that moment, you know, think whether or not this is something that people would actually potentially use and not be afraid of? Is this something that you would ever thought, okay, maybe we should start with the glasses first and then we'll get on into contact lenses? Were you confident from day dot that this is going to be something that people would want to have in their pocket on a daily basis?
Not on the pocket, on the eye, basically. So
On the eye.
you see, thing is, glasses are going to be huge. They're already huge. But we decided to concentrate on a very narrow cohort of users. There are about 150 million people wearing contact lenses daily, spending at least $2,000 per year on those contact lenses. There are two key things behind those contact lenses.
This one you buy once, right?
Well,
Depends.
it depends. It
Okay.
depends. And they either don't want to do surgery or they don't want to wear glasses. So we decided that we need to provide those people with a reliable gadget, with a reliable platform to use AI and at the same time to measure biological parameters. Basically, we decided to merge all your screens into one.
Okay.
And at the same time put biological functionality inside this gadget. Why the idea is so cool? Because by the mere fact of its existence, it solves key stumbling blocks of AR businesses. Valentyn will cover it very extensively later. But thing is that those people who already use contact lenses, they don't want to switch to glasses. They just want to keep using contact lenses, including myself. Why shan't we start with them? They're very loyal. They have money. Back then I was sure. Now I know for a fact that they will like the functionality. And we started digging. Then by now we have performed quite a few B2B pilot projects with bigger companies, including Mohammed bin Rashid Space Center, the UAE Space Agency, including big techs, biotech companies. And right now we know for a fact that the gadget is needed at least in B2B perimeters. And we will spend quite a few years, like 2-3 years probably from this moment, honing and polishing the gadget.
Yeah.
Then once
To pitch it to perfection, basically.
Yes, absolutely. Then I hope we will be ready to approach B2C market someday.
Right.
But still with a very, very, very narrow use case.
Right. So what does it mean, you know, maybe you can explain to us in more sense, doctor. Let's say I get the lens. What does it mean to have that entire bioscreening that he was just talking about right now?
Well, you know, eye is a very unique part of our body. I would say that's the only place where blood vessels, the brain and the outside world meet each other. You don't need to do any kind of invasion, and you don't need any needles. All you need basically is just to, I mean, you can collect a dozen of very important information directly from either from surface of the eye or either from actually tears, eye liquid. and I mean, everything is connected within the body. Of course, tears, they're connected with blood. And whatever information you can get out of blood, in principle, you can get out of tears. The concentrations that's a medical fact.
Wow.
Now
Never knew this.
Now you're starting to get it.
But you see, there are always kind of those peculiarities. Of course, concentrations are different. I mean, if, for example, you need to measure the level of glucose or sugar in your blood, then it's much easier, of course, from blood. But then, of course, you need to do it in an invasive way. From liquid, from your eye, you can do it in a non-invasive way. But then, of course, your sensors should be very sensitive, and because concentrations are, I mean, it's orders of magnitude lower. But in principle, it's doable.
Okay.
Again, and that's only one parameter. You can measure, like, our eyes in very much rich in terms of biological data. It's all the variety of, I don't know, bacteria, viruses, proteins, biomarkers, like you can measure vitamins level, whatever, name it. So you can do it. Of course, it requires a certain level of precision and sensitivity. So, and we use our background in optical, electro-optical, and electrochemical sensing actually to make this concept the reality. Yeah.
Right. So basically, I would have the lens on, the tear would fall in, and I would get an entire screening of the parameters in my body.
It's not
that what
always
I would be
like
using
that.
It for?
I mean, it depends, because not all parameters are needed to be measured in real time. For example, once you are wearing a lens, for example, the lens itself is made of polymer materials. It absorbs eye liquid with all the biological stuff during the day.
Okay.
So, of course, some of the parameters like intraocular pressure, glucose level, I don't know, eye dryness, you can measure in real time. That's an important thing. But, for example, to measure like oncomarkers, for example, or level of your vitamins, it doesn't really matter. I mean, because once you have a certain level of vitamins, it doesn't really change during the day. But, for example, once you are going to sleep, you can take a lens and put it in a special device. It's like comes with like a small box, and that will give you an additional spectrometric evaluation of the biological stuff in your.
So we have to emphasize that glucose, diabetes, intraocular pressure, glaucoma, they can be measured in the real time.
Yeah, that's
imagine someone suffering diabetes or glaucoma. They measure it anyway.
Yeah.
And imagine
using invasive though.
Yes,
and
that's
imagine
a big difference.
The same person already uses contact lenses. It's a no-brainer.
Of course. Of course. And I mean, there you go. That's an entire market out there that you can tackle.
And this is
easily.
A very loyal cohort of users.
Exactly.
Very loyal.
Because when your health is at risk, you will give all the money you have, right?
I
think it's the most important thing.
All the money.
Yeah.
Probably just a half.
Yeah, yeah. Good to know. But it's never enough though, is it? But what other functions would you say there are that are interesting about the lens? I mean, you did say it's a merge of screens. What do you mean by that?
Easy. Let's take
I don't need to take out a phone anymore?
At some point you won't.
Up to you.
It's up to you. You see, you've probably heard of the iPhone moment. Perfect merge of use case, what we do, form factor, the gadget, the form factor, and the interface, actually what you see on the screen.
Okay.
Once these three things merge at the same time, this is basically what they call iPhone moment. The moment was the iPhone was revealed.
Okay.
And basically we got this, well, the computer of humanity right now. Be it a smartphone or a laptop, whatever. It's just, we live in a world of black rectangle glasses. Use case, definitely we figured out, we as a humanity, I mean. Omnipresent, intelligent, something, let's call it a cognitive layer between us and the reality. You don't care what app will you use to play a certain song. You just want to listen to this specific song. You don't care whether it's going to be Spotify or YouTube Music or whatever. Just, hey, assistant, play this music. once you open your phone, you don't, what I need to check I need basically to check time. What do I see? Time, date, weather,
messages,
charge,
yeah.
messengers, flashlight. I don't need all that. And in the end of the day, I don't want to do it myself. I want the system, this cognitive layer, to understand and to provide me proactively with time. I mean, it's 3 minutes before this interview. The system will provide you instantaneously with this information. And this thing is, computing will just, dissolve into reality.
Yeah.
I hope, I sincerely hope that in 5 to 10 years, we will not have, a single specific device. We'll rather have, a bunch of devices, glasses, lenses, smart speakers, edge devices, everything. And this intelligent layer will be embedded in all those devices and will
seamlessly function with it without us even noticing. Yeah,
absolutely. We saw it like many times. Let's just take, Apple ecosystem. You instantaneously can switch content and apps between the devices. Same will happen, but with this, omnipresent cognitive layer. And we decided, to create one of the habitats of this cognitive layer.
Amazing. And I mean, I would say you guys are focusing mostly now on research and development, right? Within that R&D phase, what sort of challenges are you facing? Because I mean, just taking into consideration that you need to, everything is already in a nano micro version, make that even smaller, make it seamless in a lens that has to be half see-through. I mean, it's not easy. And it's something that I suppose for an average person's brain, it's something that's undoable. For you, you place yourself that this is not impossible. We will find a way. I suppose the machinery that you use is also something that exists once in a billion. If you could go through, obviously the challenges you faced maybe 2 years ago, how you've conquered that challenges you're facing now and where you see yourself in the next 2 years. Just give me a little bit of a, background info on the research.
Well, sure. I mean, I think the main challenge, as you mentioned it, it's integration. I mean, that's, how to integrate all those components into something which has a very delicate form factor. I don't know have you ever tried contact lens?
Yes.
Okay.
To change eye color.
Okay.
But
so that's actually another market. I mean, there is also cosmetic contact lens. Of course,
I asked your team before, I was like, does this mean that maybe women can be changing their eye color and having AI integrated into lenses? And she's like, Mira, wait for it. That's beautification. Let's figure out, the basics first. But
you can always have both, like change colors and also get some superpowers like augmented reality, night vision, color correctness. So
I have those questions coming up next.
Okay.
Yes.
So back to the integration. Sure. I mean, one should understand we try to solve those problems one by one. It's not like we are simultaneously trying to create all the lens. It's like all the team divided on. All the R&D team divided on smaller teams, and each of those teams, they are solving particular problem, like problem of integrating micro display in the lens. That's one thing. Biosensors, that's another one. Batteries, antennas, narrow interfaces. It's like each of those directions, it's like separate story.
Right.
And like right now we have like more than probably 20 different prototypes, and each of those prototypes can be used as a demonstration. Different sides of those perfect contact lens, which will be presented somewhere close to the end of this year.
Okay.
So we are kind of massively approaching this moment. Yeah.
End of the year internal presentation.
Oh yeah. It's
beginning of the next year. January, February 2027 external presentation.
I mean, like we will first, of course, try to collect everything in one device here within the walls of the
And I suppose the challenges are yet to come when it comes to actually the legislations and passing all the tests and making sure, right? Yes. I think that's another 2 years of your life probably that will need to be in that, right?
Lens, it's a medical device, of course. First, I mean, you have to go through all the medical regulations and certifications before you can take it from the shelf of the supermarket. Of course.
Where do you plan on selling it? Is it something that will be bought, as you said, supermarkets, pharmacies, or online?
Like when we approach B2C?
Yeah.
Wow. It's hard to tell right now.
Yeah.
Is it something that's going to be, you know, pretty pricey and only under doctor's prescription that you could buy it in hospitals? Or
well, well, first of all, this is the assumption, and it's too early to tell.
Of course.
Honestly, it's too early to tell. But of course, we do think about it, and there are plenty of concepts. We can sell them through opticians, through optometrists, through optics stores. But to be frank, no one knew that. Well, you see, my grandfather, he was a pioneering Soviet engineer involved in building first Soviet computers like in 50s. He passed away like 10 years ago, but he
must be very proud of you, though.
He was around when we got these little devils.
Yeah.
And he kept joking that we never would have even thought about the fact that things we developed back then will be used, you know, to play Counter-Strike or to chat or to whatever. So basically,
because it was used for like army purposes, defense, right? Medical, space. It was for
science.
Yeah.
And well, Mr. Ford said, in case I ask the consumer, what do you need? Faster horse. He offered a car, but I bet he never would have thought about all kinds of things a car can be used for. So we need to create this next generation of computing and play with it. Then we will only figure out proper ways to use it, to sell it.
Right.
You know, why ChatGPT is ChatGPT? Why they call it ChatGPT? I mean, Gemini, beautiful. Claude, beautiful. Why ChatGPT?
I've never thought about it.
Because it was never intended to be product. It was an internal feature within their B2B product. So they developed, as a company, they developed a B2B product and tried to sell it to corporations.
Okay.
And ChatGPT was internal feature to demonstrate
how it's done.
How it's done and what the capabilities of the product.
Yeah. Yet look where we are today.
Look where we are today. That's exactly what I mean. We need to develop it first.
Right.
We're very confident that those people already wearing contact lenses and suffering diabetes, glaucoma, etc., etc., etc. And let's not forget about tech geeks.
Exactly. There's a whole bunch of. I'm
Yeah.
sure you're one of them. Potentially. Just maybe, just a little bit. Because eventually, I mean, if you do create this product, what's next? Next is how can I watch a movie through this? How can I, do video calls through this? How can I, right? It's never ending at that point. Once you guys create that base and hopefully hold a monopoly for creating that base with your formula,
another thing behind the company. It is way easier to become the contact lens company, the smart contact lens company, than the glasses company, right? Doing glasses, you compete with the planet, starting from Apple and Meta, and all the way, to startups somewhere in China.
Yeah.
And there aren't many people we do understand people use contact lenses. There aren't many capable of creating this, and
it's a big bite to take. It's a big risk to take.
Risky business, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're familiar with the moat concept. So the moat around this company is the R&D team Valentyn gathered. We were recently, he's a humble guy. I'm here to, basically to promote him. They were recently ranked, the R&D team of this company.
Not only did he stalk, he's also promoting, Look at that.
I mean, they are top 3 R&D teams within the world of startups and physics worldwide.
I don't doubt it.
This is the technological moat
He means by nature index.
Yeah, nature index, which is numerical. You can't send PR guys to persuade you to include your company in this ranking. It is numerical. So basically they count and then they decide who's, on which place. Basically, you need, 10x better team to create something, truly a real breakthrough. Well, it just so happened that they gathered the Avengers team from the world of material science and optics and photonics.
And look at this, everybody has been brought to Dubai now. You guys are a happy family here working. No, but it's incredible. I passed through your labs and I've, spoken to some of your scientists and I've seen some of the machinery and everything. I think that I saw it was an exceptional 1 in a billion machine that,
It's a great lab. We are really proud of our facilities.
Exactly. But I'm going back now. So what you said about ChatGPT and that it actually wasn't supposed to be, used because obviously the name is a bit strange. How did XPANCEO come to be? Because this is a very beautiful name for a company.
Well, first, it was my Instagram nickname.
Are you serious?
Once we decided to start the company, we decided that
we spent days trying to find a good name.
We need a pitch.
We failed, yes, and it's.
I think it's the worst thing ever to actually find a name for a product and a company that you want to like. It takes you weeks, if not months, and you're overthinking it 10,000 times.
So basically, we needed.
But it was right there. It was on your Instagram.
To raise money. We needed to put something on the first page of pitch deck. We spent like days trying to figure out the proper name.
I'm sure you asked your wives. All the females in your life as well.
Everyone was involved.
Everyone,
Yes, absolutely. And at the end of the day, we just, let's put there something.
I think the first idea was to use it kind of temporary, but then
it's absolutely.
Yeah.
Then everyone get used to it. It's a good name.
And I like it because in a way you're like expanding beyond what humanity currently has, and it's a very futuristic sort of name. And then the logo does the rest, and the font it does the rest, right?
The scientific gem.
Yeah. Now listen, I have a lot of deep tech myths here that I want busted from you guys.
Okay, let's try.
And as founders of such a company, I want you to kind of debunk, all the common misunderstandings that people usually have. So the first one is that AR will never replace phones. But I think this is something that you mentioned at the very beginning. Myth?
They keep asking me, how will you kill iPhones? iPhone did not kill laptop. Laptop did not kill PC. PC did not kill servers. We do not want to kill anyone. We just want to provide good, using intelligent algorithms with your own bare fingers typing is poor. I can't stop thinking of it. It's poor, it's outdated. I need 5 computers to survive throughout the day. Okay, average person needs 1 to 3 computers at least.
What do you mean throughout their life, right? What do you mean during the day you need 5 computers?
iPhone, laptop.
Okay, you call all of that. Okay.
Yes, absolutely. Computing devices. Not counting to hoops and all the stuff. So we are absolutely certain. We as a society, as a community, as the planet, that intelligent algorithms are the thing. They need proper interface and form factor. Why? And AR is the natural way to work with vision. What else do you want? You will inevitably work with vision, with sound, with thought, probably, maybe later. That's natural.
Yeah, 100%. So next one is also, I'm quite interested in the next one. Smart contact lenses are unsafe. Let's speak a little bit about the safety, and obviously, the first question that I did ask, you're scientists, when I looked
to live on a planet Earth is unsafe. In principle, yes. But
I think radiation is the main thing that we would talk about here, right?
That's a very popular urban legend about dangerous radiation which penetrates our eyes and start to destroy everything. Yeah,
our brain mostly. Yeah,
sure, of course. It's not like that. I think I know where the origin of all those things comes from, because traditional glasses or helmets, they're very energy non-efficient, inevitably, because that's devices which are placed far away from the eye, and the efficiency of those devices is very low. It's also those computers like laptops as well. I mean, imagine you have a screen somewhere and then it sends information to your eye. The efficiency of coupling information from here to there, it's around 10%. The rest is actually lost to the space. That's why you need lots of batteries. Because if, for example, something happens like the illumination is very bright, like sun, the contrast drops down, you need to put batteries up to make it brighter, more efficient. This is not the case once you put a display directly on your eye. It's literally the part of your eye. In this particular case, every photon that comes from a display is efficiently coupled by your eye.
It goes directly into
yes,
that.
it's like you are. It's
Got it.
the display is not a separate anymore. It's a part of your eye.
Okay.
It gives a huge advantage. First, in
Remember-
terms of power consumption, then also in terms of the field of the view. Field of the view, that's a very important parameter. It, again, determined by the distance. That's the angle in which you can see. Traditional glasses, they are separate from the eye. So the glasses are here, the eyes are moves. Now we have it.
Rings around them.
Exactly, that's a box which determines your ability to see. Now your display is a part of your eye, it moves together, so it's infinite field of view. Well, only determined by your physical ability to move your eyes.
So the signal is directly placed into that.
Remember, I told
Chip
in the
that's
beginning
there.
that we accidentally, the team accidentally solved key stumbling blocks of AR business: power supply, view angle, contrast. You name it.
If we kind of jump back to the
Because what is
energy
radiation?
problems,
Radiation is
basically you don't need lots of power to run your device with the same efficiency. Actually, we are talking about microwatts. It's like you need only like hundreds of times less batteries compared to traditional glasses or I don't know, smartphones.
and energy is not lost.
No, it's not lost. It's every photon, every electron kind of involved in this optoelectronic system is used in the most efficient way.
Okay.
And as a result, basically the total electromagnetic field which generated by the device is very low. It's comparable or even lower than
Bluetooth.
It's the gadget that you use for those eye pieces.
Interesting.
Interesting.
And thank you for decoding this one. It was also interesting to me
Now
because obviously
this important knowledge is shared with everyone.
Exactly. I live in a family where we have those anti-radiation stickers on computers, on phones, everywhere.
You don't need this anymore.
And the fact that a potential futuristic device is going to have less of a radiation, and you've just explained how it works, is good news. Next one is tech like this is decades away. Everybody believes that, we're going to go Vision 2050. This is something that my grandchildren are going to be witnessing. Is this true or not?
Of course not.
Guys, it's coming, few years.
Well, again, as Roman said, in the end of this year, we will present it internally, yes. Basically, and then, of course, next year, we will show it to the world. But again, the only time limitation here, I would say, is to go through all necessary medical certifications.
Exactly.
That, from my point of view, that's
2030 is your launch, more or less?
Yeah.
Earlier, again, possible, even.
It depends what do you mean, because in case of B2B communication, we already kind of actually offering our gadget to other companies to try to polish the technology.
Oh, okay.
Of course, if you are going to B2C, then it's yeah.
Amazing. And the last one here is I know that was the last one actually. I was just saying here how all of this, what you guys just said, builds obviously trust and leadership, and inshallah we're going to see more of it, and you guys have busted the myths now.
I would actually add that Roman mentioned this moment of iPhone. I think our contact lens can also have its own moment, and in my opinion it will happen in a situation when someone, like for example Roman, will leave his house, will go somewhere, and then Roman will realize that actually he forgot his phone at home. But he said, okay,
Okay.
doesn't matter. I have my beautiful XPANCEO contact lens. I will
lenses.
survive without. And that would be the historical moment when actually,
You realize,
yeah.
yeah. Who would you say are your first customers?
B2B companies,
Yeah.
inevitably.
Okay.
Again, as said, approaching B2C market with a new type of gadget,
Yeah.
platform, user interface is a suicide. I mean, there's a huge graveyard of companies trying to build something new and approaching B2C.
And 95% of them fail, don't they? Even more.
Probably even more.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that Apple themselves started with B2B. They started B2B. They started selling computers to police stations, to libraries, to B2B companies. We will do the same.
Right, it's the right thing to do eventually.
We are very cautious. We understand that we don't have this amount of leverage to approach B2C market and not to succeed.
Right.
That is why we decided to approach B2Bs, figure out the use case, the killer use case, polish the gadget, polish technology, spent at least several years performing B2B contracts, and then probably approach B2C market.
I mean, you are in the right place as well here, I think, with the Ministry of AI and all the support that we have from the government here in the UAE. I think it's great.
Incredibly supportive.
I think they would be the first ones to say, yes, we want to experience the government here. You know, we want to experience this and we want to see how we can work together.
Actually, this is exactly what happened with Mohammed bin Rashid Space
Center.
Yeah.
We work in a close collaboration with Mohammed bin Rashid Space Center, Mohammed bin Rashid Medical Center. Actually, we really appreciate support that we are getting from the local.
This is something so unbelievable, so different comparing to what you see in other parts of the world.
Yeah,
of course. I feel like in other parts of the world, in a way, we fight the systems that we're placed under. Whereas here, we're all under a system where the vision is the same. You know, the government created a vision that is for us and that is there for us to succeed and to flourish and to bring our ideas on the table, to get the funding that's needed even, and work together to make it a better place. And I think it's inevitable that the whole world will end up here eventually, you know?
We as a deep tech community, which is, a company that takes, scientific breakthroughs and tries to apply them to real life use cases.
Yeah.
We see a huge influx of deep tech and hard tech companies, communities, engineers coming to the country.
Of course.
In recent probably 2
thanks
years.
to local organizations like Dubai Future Foundation. I mean, they're really kind of creating a perfect sandbox for this kind of new technological businesses.
It was not like that. This is probably the hard bit of a community, of deep tech community. This happened like 1 year ago, 2 years ago. 2 years ago probably it started.
But it's never enough money, never enough support, never enough, right? That's the usual case scenario in other parts of the world, right? Never enough understanding.
Sure, but everyone evolves in something bigger, and
of course. And here is the concentration of where that support is. So it's great to see that
the
you guys.
The main fact that this company emerged here is not a coincidence.
No,
of course not.
Because we checked, basically we checked the whole, like the planet, and we needed to relocate the company, relocate people quickly. We needed to buy equipment from different parts of
all
the
around the world.
Yes,
and it should be a very important international hub. I mean, where you can.
So logistics, customs things, relocation things, salaries.
But this is where I want to ask him. Apart from the fact that we have similar cultures and similar backgrounds, but what is it, that one thing that you think founders in general should have? Because what you're saying to me now is that agility, adaptability, being capable of, packing your bags overnight and shifting and changing and adapting to a change, adapting to new people and new environments. I think that's such an important trait that founders in general should have. Would you say that was the most important trait that you guys had? which was, or maybe was it risk taking, or was it, you name it, What's that important trait that you think all entrepreneurs should live and breathe in order to be successful?
Well, first of all, I think Valentyn might answer this question more, profound, because I've been playing this game, for almost 20 years, and first is the readiness to become a founder, to to leave academia, to to take your family, your team to another country to develop something new. This is this.
It's not for
Trope
everyone.
of healthy aventurism,
It's hard.
Yeah.
And
course.
at the end of the day, you need to be obsessed with what you do.
With the mission that you have, yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Money is not a motivator. At least, not a very good motivator. Very short motivator, I would say so. But rather the willingness to, they say, to change the world, to make the world a better
I think
place.
it's like leave a legacy in a
think
way,
that's-
leave an impact, right?
The ability to see a bigger picture in the end, I would say. Yeah,
But
it's
yes, we what united us in the first place, like 4 years ago, a very specific vision of the future, very specific vision of how the thing we want to create alters the future and impacts it. And myself, Valentyn he's more, profound, he's more calm. But to be frank, I was obsessed with the idea. I still am. But
you see it in the interview now as well, the differences as well.
I mean,
but it's good, it's the yin and the yang, right? You need it.
You need to imagine the picture and put all your effort and will and strength to approach this picture and to actually to achieve it.
Of course. What would you say your trait is that made you a successful entrepreneur?
Well, I'm a very optimistic person. That's
Optimism.
Yes, that's one of the main
Positive thoughts.
reasons.
Actually,
In the end,
Valentyn has enough
I
optimism for
absolutely
two of us.
sure that everything will be fine. I mean, that's what helped me kind of to.
You have the optimism, and would you call yourself a realist then?
Our colleague who's responsible for daily operations call my point of view apocalyptic.
Oh my!
So no, I mean this is very important, and Valentyn, he has enough optimism for at least two of us.
How would you guys? We are running out of time soon, but just to finish our interview up, how would you guys define success? What does success mean to you?
The amount of time you spend to get on your feet when you fall.
That's success.
I mean,
does it equal money?
Huh?
Does it equal money?
Money is a very strange concept. I mean, you obviously need money to live, to buy stuff, to send your kids to school,
Yeah.
to help your parents, etc., etc. But at some point of wealth, of being wealthy, money becomes a concept, and you need motivation after this moment. And I would say that every person has to define success, by themselves.
It's when you feel that existing eternal peace, right, and happiness.
I mean, look at us and compare us to, I don't know, a doctor, a surgeon saving lives. Valentyn is a very successful scientist and a deep tech founder. Me, myself, I'm a very, more than less successful. I've been, and I hope to remain successful in building companies, selling companies, defining new categories, new products, etc., etc. Take, a surgeon. He's probably more successful than us because he saves lives. I mean, actual lives. but it's, you know, different kind of success.
Yeah.
So,
What is-
or a writer, or a philosopher, or
I would
artist.
say if in the end you kind of getting personal satisfaction from the result that you actually getting,
Right.
you can measure or
That's-
you can determine as a success.
That's success.
And
Yeah.
a huge amount of money, of course.
Of course.
Of course. It comes with it, doesn't it? You
Sure.
can't go without it. Tell me, you guys have literally 1 minute left. I'm going to be giving you a couple of wildcard questions. You have to pick one each and then answer the question accordingly. Is that okay with you?
Lottery.
It sounds like
Yes.
a casino or something.
I do that with all of my guests eventually. What is the question? Read it out loud. You guys haven't answered it yet, right?
Yeah. What did your first big mistake as a founder teach you? Well, it teach me that actually business is not academia. It's
A different science
it's-
for
it's-
itself.
it's a different world.
Yeah.
And basically all those 4 years, actually more than 4 years, for myself, I consider it like a special education. Basically, I'm getting a lot from Roman actually, and I'm observing him. I'm trying to he's kind of also a mentor for me. I mean, in a world of business, and there were lots of mistakes, and
Yeah.
I'm trying to improve myself in this area.
And I
as
feel
well,
like
yeah.
from a scientific point of view, it's very difficult for you to actually be a risk taker because everything is so well analyzed, right?
Not
in your world.
necessarily. You
No?
science is a very risky
Yeah.
area, of course, and I kind of risk is not something which really scare me, but in the end, it's all about calculating and prediction. I mean, once you predict and kind of your chances are not zero, but success or kind of results are great,
Yeah.
you can try it. I mean, in the end,
Do you ever use your gut feeling or everything has to be proven?
not necessarily. In the end, I'm just a human. Come on.
So intuition does exist, right?
Well, sure. I mean, I listen my internal Valentyn from time to time, and sometimes he's right, sometimes wrong. That's life. Yeah,
Yes, that is life.
Yeah.
What is your question, Roman?
What's the hardest decision you've made as an entrepreneur? Well, you see, at some point, your life as an entrepreneur, as a leader, as a boss, as someone who, you know, inspires and has to persuade people to follow, becomes, you know, staying mentally sane and cognitive and preserve your cognitive function to take responsibility for a very small amount of decisions that are crucial. Thanks God there are two of us. We have, you know, someone to play intellectual ping pong to come up with at least a decision that is, you know, was checked.
I suppose you
someone.
come in with this crazy idea and you're like, Valentyn, is
But-
this actually scientifically doable? Like, can we actually
No,
do
this is, I mean, this is the question. This is, you know, the most, the question that is
Gets asked
being
the most.
constantly asked like every day. Is it? I mean, that does it contradicts, you know, laws of physics?
Yeah.
But the hardest decision, you know, the hardest decision was to actually one. This is not a decision. It's, you know, it is. No, it's probably a decision. At some point, you have to concentrate on a very specific target and proactively decide to cut everything else off and to persuade your co-founder, your investors, your team to follow this feature, this product, this, you name it,
Yeah.
and to cut everything off.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, you know, family and your life comes into place. And basically, I think Valentyn, he has 3 kids. I only have 1. We both have wives, and you know, basically.
I hope you get to see them every once in a while.
Sure, absolutely, and that's what I
But
mean.
it's,
So basically, at some
Should
point,
be a balance. Yeah.
at some point, you know, you have to ditch everything but your
Yeah.
family and your company.
Yeah.
And it's hard, and
It's hard.
it's hard because
mean,
you
I
lose friends,
understand.
you lose health, you lose.
Of course. I understand because I grew up also with a father that was an entrepreneur and we've never seen him at home. And it was, my mom always said, okay, there's an extra year is going to be fine. But it's very difficult if the idea is yours and the company is your other baby for you to ever trust somebody else with this
Yeah.
and have yourself exchanged. I don't think it's possible. And I've
Absolutely.
seen it on my own, like father's image. It's not possible to be exchanged. And of course, everything else comes into place. You know, you want to be there for your daughter's first birthday. You want to be there for a lot of things, you know, for your anniversary, for,
Yeah.
and at least eventually it's about time management. And I believe everything has a
It's about
solution, you know,
priority.
and it's about prioritizing certain things and quality time. But I'm sure your wives are very lucky women and your children are extremely proud of, you know, the fathers that they have.
Well, he always says hit
We
your wife,
do
happy
our
life.
best, of course.
Yes.
Yes.
Your families are here though,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Amazing,
Yes,
amazing.
You know, I mean,
everyone is here.
That's
yeah.
already a bonus then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, it was such a pleasure speaking to you. Really.
you. For your
I-
patience.
I'm
Yeah.
happy I met all of you and I hope we made a friendship that's only going to develop in the next couple of years. I'm very happy to see where you guys go. I'm very excited to see where you guys are going to go. And keep us updated, please. We would love to do many more interviews with you. And best of luck with everything.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Much appreciated.
Thanks.